If the lights went out right now, do you have a kit put together? Stick around and we'll get right to it. Real quick before we get going today, I've got to give a shout out to these guys. They're my latest patrons over on Patreon. If you'd like to help support the channel, I'll leave a link to Patreon down in the description below. So if you guys don't know, September is National Preparedness Month, and this channel would be amiss if it didn't do at least one video that kind of centered around preparedness. So let's take a look today at my lights out bag. This is a bag that I've put together just in case we lose power. Usually in Middle Tennessee, that is going to be due to a storm. So we've got some items in here that would definitely help us, or at least help keep us informed during that storm and a power outage. Let's start by taking a look at a few of the items I keep on the outside of the bag. And these are just quick grab items that you don't have to dig into the bag to find. So you'll see a couple of different flashlights that are on the outside of the bag that we can just grab and have one in hand. There's a couple of small ones here that I've picked up over time, and even a really little one that I've got over here. So if I needed to give one to my granddaughter or to someone else in the house, I could do that. In addition to that, I also keep a little button light here that just provides a little bitty bit of light, but sometimes that's all you need. More importantly though, I keep this whistle, and the purpose of the whistle is we do experience tornadoes here in Middle Tennessee, and should we be faced with a tornado to where we had debris or part of the house had collapsed and we were trapped, you would have a way to signal to rescuers as they were coming through the neighborhood. It's much easier to send out a whistle than it is to continually yell for help, because after a period of time, you're going to wear out your voice and become hoarse. So having a whistle in this kit, to me, is absolutely essential. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside the bag. One thing I forgot to show you guys on the outside of the bag is this metal emergency communications card that I keep on the outside. On the reverse is a list of family members and their phone number. So if we needed that, didn't have your phone, lost your phone, phone was dead, whatever, we would still have those phone numbers that we could access pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and open up the bag and take a look at what's inside. Right on top, you probably saw the Balfang Radio, and this is one of the best use cases for the Balfang, just to be able to buy these because they're dirt cheap at like 25-30 bucks, and be able to keep those in kits like this. This one is programmed to the NOAA weather radio frequencies, so I've got another source of weather information if I need it. To go along with the Balfang, I've also got this weather radio. It also includes an AM/FM radio as well. My favorite thing about this and why I put it in this particular kit is it has a hand crank on the back of it. So it will charge off of solar, or you can use that crank to put a little bit of juice into this device. That way you never have to worry about the batteries being dead. You can see the hand crank right there, and you can also use this once it's powered up, you can use it to charge your cellular device. Now, you might be thinking that I'm a little bit radio heavy in a lights out kit, but I like to have multiple ways to get information, because typically if it's a power outage here, we are faced with some sort of storm. So having another AM/FM radio on hand is just a good idea. Now, getting back to lighting, this is the Goal Zero Crush light, and I absolutely love these particular lights. It's on its brightest setting now. We can turn it down once and twice before we actually cut the thing off. My favorite thing is it squishes down flat, and you can use the solar panel to recharge it. You put it out in the sun for a full day, you can probably get 4 to 5 hours of runtime off of this guy before you run the batteries dead again. I think these things come in at around 20 bucks, well worth the money to have in this kit. I also picked up a bag of these tea light candles that I like to keep in here. Now, while candles aren't the safest thing necessarily to leave burning in the house, I do find these helpful maybe to sit on, say, the bathroom counters and be able to give you just enough light to do what you need to. So we do burn these occasionally when we just need a little bit of light in that particular room. A headlamp is something that you need in every one of these kits. My favorite thing about a headlamp is it gives me ample amount of light, and it's always facing the direction that I'm looking since it's on top of my head. It also frees up both hands if I need to work on something. Now, another must-have item in a kit like this is packs of batteries. I've got one pack of AA's here and another pack of AA's. One thing I recommend that you do when you purchase batteries like this for your kits is flip them over and write the date in which you bought these batteries. That way you'll know how long you've had them in the kit and know when it's time to replace them if you haven't used them already. You can see that I bought these in 2014. They have a 20-year life, apparently, according to the packaging anyway. I'm not sure I would trust those 20 years later. These are coming up just past 8 years, so I'll probably keep these for a couple more years in this kit, and then if they haven't been used by then, I'll go ahead and ditch them or use them in something else and then replace them in this kit with new batteries. Here's another cool little item that I found on Amazon, and it is a button lamp. It comes in a package of 6. So if you don't like the idea of using the tea light candles in different places, you could just put these in there and leave them turned on instead. One nice thing about these lights is you don't even need to take them out of the packaging to test. You can just press down and know that the light is working. Another item I like to keep in this kit is the Vagabond Mini Lithium. And this is made actually for photographers, and I used it at one time in the photography business, but I just don't find myself using it there anymore, and it makes a great addition to this kit. It contains not only a battery, but also a power inverter that we can use during a power outage to charge either cell phones or even run an LCD TV. So this gives me a couple of different outlets, so if I need to, say, charge a phone and run the TV at the same time, that's not an issue. And I love the fact that this also has power poles built in for charging. It does give you a USB plug, but that's a pretty low amperage plug at 0.5 amps. So it will charge a phone, but it takes forever if you use the USB. It's much quicker if you use the 120 volt power plugs. Flipping the switch right here gives you 3 LED indicators letting you know how much battery you have remaining, or at least a pretty good guess. So there you have it, guys. There's a look at what I keep in my lights out kit. If you found this information helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up before you head off. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, 7-3.